Have you ever read this card, Acid Golem of Destruction, and thought it is pretty crap? It says during your standby phase, detach a material or take 1000 damage, and you cannot special summon any monsters. And if this card has no Xyz material, it cannot attack. So it's basically all negative effects tied into a high attack rank 3 monster. There's basically no reason to play this card. You can literally play Leviathan Dragon and it will still be better than playing a big Xyz monsters with a ton of drawbacks. But what if we give it to our opponent with no materials? And that is what we're doing. And the way we will do it is with a Mystic Box. It targets an opponent's monster, destroys it, and then just gives a monster you control to the opponent for free. And it is permanent. So even though we have other cards like Xian Spy, it just gives our opponent a monster, but it is only until the end phase. But it's not ideal. We will want to give it forever. And that's why we are playing Mystic Box. That is a free to obtain card that gives a monster to our opponent forever. And we're also playing Reload and Magical Mallet to help us draw into the card more easier. And we're also playing a bunch of level 3 monsters like Kagemusha Knight, Gorgonic Gargoyle, Sentry Soldier of Stone, and also Psychic Tracker to help us spam our field with level 3 monsters to summon Acid Golem. And we will also use the skill Overlay Removal. It allows us to target an Xyz monster we control and just remove all the Xyz materials. So with no materials, this card cannot attack. So basically, if we give this card with no materials to our opponent, they cannot special summon, they can't attack, and they can't use this card. And they just take 1000 damage every turn. And normally your opponent could just use it as link material, but it just says you cannot special summon any monsters, so your opponent cannot even use it as a link material. So that's basically it. The win condition of this deck is to give your opponent Acid Golem and just make them take 1000 damage every turn until they die. Or you can just speed things up with Nightmare Shark attacking directly, or Gorgonic Guardian to make your opponent's attack 0. But yeah, that's the main game plan, and let's hop into the games. Okay, I actually don't know that if Mystic Box actually works if your opponent uses Balinix to protect his own monster, because it says destroy the first target, then give control of the second target. We tested that doesn't work if your opponent tributes the monster that we targeted, because we lost to an Infernoid deck because of that. But I'm not sure if it does work. It probably won't. It probably won't. But there's still hope. If we draw 2 Mystic Boxes, we can use it twice. And yeah, so we won't scoop immediately. There's still a chance if we draw a second Mystic Box. And also if our opponent doesn't negate it. Oh yeah, it seems like our opponent is not milling a roar. Probably because they already drew it, which is not good. Just to say, isn't there a better version of this where you run Fish, use Bahamut, summon Acid Golem without materials, and Spy or box it away? Yes, that is the ideal version to play Acid Golem Burn. That is what you should be playing if you have more money or if you have more gems. But we're playing a free-to-play deck, which means we won't play a Bahamut shop. But yeah, you're right. Definitely, if you have Bahamut shop, definitely play that card, and also play level 4 fish monsters to make it. Okay, that's good. Our opponent plays Abyss Dweller, but that means he can't protect his Abyss Dweller with his Balinix. So that is wonderful. But we still probably need to play around his roar. Mystic Box number 2, please! Okay, reload. We still have a chance though. He just shotguns Abyss Dweller. I don't think Abyss Dweller would be a good choice against Photons anyway. Because against Photons, they don't actually use a lot of graveyard effects. They only revive from the graveyard with revival spells, but they don't use effects from the graveyard. The only effect that they use is the graveyard effect of Shuffle Reborn, which doesn't do a lot. It's more like a win more effect than combo starter. Okay, as long as that isn't a roar, which it probably is, we'll be fine. Or if we draw another Mystic Box. Photons are like access code talker. Yes, that's pretty true. It's like access code. You just keep popping every single card on the field. Okay, we hope for the best. We summon Acid Golem in attack position. Acid Golem in attack position, and then we activate skill, and then we use Mystic Box, and then we pop the Abyss Dweller, and then give our opponent Acid Golem. And our opponent will activate Roll, probably. And then we... Oh, he doesn't! Okay. Interesting. Interesting. But we're probably gonna lose anyway, because he has 3 monsters and we have nothing on our field. He already has Lethal on board, so... we're still gonna lose anyway. But yeah, that's basically how a deck works. We wait for our opponent to summon something, and then we give our opponent Acid Golem, and then they take 1000 damage every turn. They can't attack with this card, they can't special summon, so they can't even link it away. And then we will just make a monster on the field to stall until our opponent eventually burns themselves to death. Yep. End. Oh, is he playing a Legalist? Probably. It only makes sense if he is playing a Legalist. Light Sword. Okay, Bacon Saver doesn't matter at all. If he summons the Fortunately the Every, it will be really funny because it doesn't work at all. I can just pop his Every, give an Acid Golem, and then he couldn't summon back his Every, and it will be hilarious. Every time. And now we just need Mystic Box. If we draw Mystic Box, we win. Mystic Box. Mystic Box. Please. I'll just activate Reload now, so I have a higher chance of drawing Mystic Box, instead of after I summon monsters. Okay, great! Mystic Box! Let's go! Send free Surgical Stone! Psychic Tractor! Oh, why does he have a delay? Not that it matters, because it's probably White Princess, because I saw him mill a White Princess. So it's probably White Princess, but it doesn't matter because even if that's a DD Crow, it doesn't do anything against our deck. We can just summon it in our EMZ. It doesn't matter because we're just giving it to our opponent anyway. And before we give it to our opponent, remember to use your skill. Otherwise, he will just use it to attack, and you will be taking a lot of damage. And then finally, we activate Mystic Box. We pop the Every, give our opponent this gigantic Acid Golem of Destruction. We put it right in the middle, and then we end our turn. Every doesn't banish own field. It doesn't matter because he can't summon back his Every. Because Acid Golem prevents himself from special summoning, so he can't even revive his Every back. So it doesn't matter if he can banish his own monsters or not. And also, I don't think he can. yeah, he only banishes face-up monster the opponent controls. So yeah, he's now probably looking at his own Acid Golem and wondering what on earth to do with it. They do run tribute monsters? Probably not. I don't think they will. Honestly. I don't think they are. Unless they're playing some really jank cards. Okay, he's a normal summoning White Princess. Interesting. Stego Cyber. Oh yeah, he can play Stego Cyber. Right. But, it seems like he doesn't have it. Ooh, nice draw. Really nice draw. The best draw. Because now we can normal summon our Gargoyle, and since our graveyard is entirely made out of rock monsters, we can just do this. And then, Century Soldier of Stone can revive itself when you control rock monsters, and not the graveyard. And now we can, normally you can make Nightmare Shark deal 2000 and then wait for Acid Golem to deal lethal, but because he has a White Princess, I will not do that. I'll instead make Gorgonic Guardian. And that will allow me to get rid of his White Princess. We'll change his White Princess to 0. Normally you would want to wait for your opponent to actually use an effect, but yeah, there we go. It's that easy. Just throw your opponent in Acid Golem and wait for them to die.